From beautiful downtown Sacramento, it's time for Beach Blanket Fort Bingo.
Beach Blanket Fort Bingo. Beach Blanket, Fort Bingo, Fort Bingo. Spazzy's got a show when you really want to know what's going on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Beach Blanket, Fort Bingo, Fort Bingo. Art and music, golden blue, and your favorite comics too. Grab a spot and settle in, 'cause it's high time we begin. Beach Blanket Fort Bingo Podcast. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah! Look out! Here we go! You better listen. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Now we're talking.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, hey.
Hey, everybody. My name is Steve Schnee, and welcome to Beach Blanket Fort Bingo. We've got yet another great show for you today. But before I introduce our very special guests, I'd like to introduce my co-host. He's a man that needs no introduction, so I'll waste this introduction by telling you that he needs no introduction. He's often confused with police drummer Stuart Copeland and cartoon legend He-Man, but we know him as a lovable ragamuffin. Ladies and gentlemen, Ronnie Barnett.
Hey, everybody. Thank you, Steve.
And our special guests today are two legends that Ronnie and I have adored for many decades, John Reuben and Tommy I'm going to start that whole thing again. Our special guests today are legends.
That pronunciation. Do I have to play the trumpet again?
No,
Yeah.
no. I'm just going to start at the beginning here. And our special guests today are legends to Ronnie and I and to many others. John Reuben and Tommy Dunbar have led the Rubinoos, one of the finest power pop bands of all time, for 5 decades and are still creating music that continues to inspire and comfort us in good times and bad. Their brand new release, the CBS Tapes, features a selection of previously unreleased recordings taped in 1976 that still sound fresh and exciting 45 years later. We are honored to have them with us today. Let's give a warm round of applause to John Reuben and Tommy Dunbar of the Rubinoos. Welcome to the Blanket Fort.
All right.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
You know, Tommy got that horn from Miles. I just want you to know that.
Did you
Oh,
bring your clarinet?
It's here somewhere. I wanted to compliment you on the background you created to make it look like you're a musician. It's really good. I thought that was a very creative touch.
I had
Very
to look
effective.
all over. I had to look all over for that. Yeah.
But we could spend all this time talking about your career, but we're going to focus right now on the CBS tapes. In my opinion, this release, it's a revelation because it showcases how the band sounded just prior to your debut album. But let's go back a little further and chat about the beginning. How did you guys meet?
Johnny.
Well, Tommy and I we had math class with Ms. Key, and Ms. Key
She broke her
didn't
back.
think we behaved ourselves very well and would literally throw us out of class daily. So Tommy and I would end up in the hall. You see, I don't quite understand the teacher. She was actually doing exactly what we wanted to do because then we could hang out. But that's how we met, and we started hanging out together. And then I would go over to Tommy's house, and he had stacks of 45s that his brother and sister had collected, and we would just sit there and play them all day long. I mean, literally, that's how we met. We became fast friends, obviously, after that.
What kind of artists were you both listening to back then? I mean, was there a particular artist, record, or a genre that helped bond that friendship?
We were listening to everything, really. But on the 45s, I mean, what? Little Richard, Chuck
Yeah.
Berry,
Everly's, the
Fonz, a lot of girl groups. My sister had Shangri-La's,
Mhm.
yeah, and then I mean, also, as Tom said, it wasn't just 45s. I mean, we were heavily into the Beatles, of course, and Hendrix and the Stones, and whatever was going on in the pop radio as well. I mean, we were just starting probably to you know, sort of expand our taste a little more. I mean, it wasn't super familiar with oldies at that point, right? I mean, we grew up sort of in this period, you know, post 50s, so they weren't playing a lot of it on the, it really wasn't oldies station. So the first time we were really exposed to it, it was our siblings' record collection. You know?
Yeah.
Music would start to go. I get all excited. I'm just about to lose control. All excited by that rock and roll.
When you guys came together, you know, the Beatles had split, music was becoming harder and edgier. Did you feel out of place listening to those records that you love so much?
Not really. I mean, we were listening to that stuff too. Like John, you had Aqualung.
Oh yeah,
Listen to that a lot.
yeah.
You know,
We're into
Do you still have
Zappa.
Aqualung, John? You still have that copy?
No, unfortunately, I don't.
I have Benefit.
I got
Nice.
Want to borrow it?
Oh, my-
I'll let you benefit.
I love Benefit.
Me too.
So-
Yeah.
I,
You know,
I think that you know, we really were willing to listen to just about anything at that time, and we the oldies we found to be funny. I mean, a lot of the reason we like that, you know, I mean, I say this a lot. What really drew me into music initially and made me love it is novelty records. You know, that's what because I thought they were so highly entertaining. And the first single I owned was Purple People Eater by Sheb Woolley.
good
And
choice.
I would play that thing to death, you know, I mean, and I loved it. And then, you know, stuff like Coming to Take Me Away, or, you know, Saucer Rock and Roll, or anything novelty I like. And this is really funny. When the first time I heard Purple Haze, I thought it was a novelty record.
Really?
I mean, I thought it sounded so weird. And is that a joke? It's pretty cool. I like that, you know. You know, 'cause it was just so weird sounding. So humor has always been a real draw for me for music, as well as, you know, enjoying the melodies and et cetera, et cetera.
Hey, so you guys are fans. How does this lead to you picking up guitars?
I was already playing. I had my first band when I was 7 with my brother, and just always watching him because he played. So I was always trying to get people to start bands.
I started my first band in 5th grade called the Constipated Orange.
Still the best name. Still the best name ever.
Still, yeah.
And there's such a thread through to the Psychotic Pineapple with that name.
There was a big thread, actually.
Yeah.
Alex Carlin from the Psychotic Pineapple was in Constipated Orange.
Wow.
And Danny Zamorano was an exchange student from Chile who played drum and inspired me when I became the drummer from Psychotic Pineapple to also play drum. And what that means is one drum.
That means we had to take John's bass drum away from him. It was kind of a problem. There was a rhythmic problem.
But we were covering Monkeys songs, and we covered Snoopy and the Red Baron, and I'm trying to remember. Well, but a lot of and of course House of the Rising Sun, because, you know, we were pretty experienced in that kind of thing at that age.
Well,
Michael Ford was the guitar player. He knew how to play it.
He knew how to play that. That's what got him the gig.
Yeah. When Tommy and I met, you know, I would come and hang out at the rehearsal of his band, Brother Buzz Memorial Blues Band. Was doing like all kinds of, you know, sort of traditional blues and then English blues.
And some problematic originals.
And I would just hang out, and then Tommy and I, you know, we became more and more close friends. And then when we got into 9th grade, when we found out we were going to be going to this school called Bay High School, which is a hippie school.
Wait a minute. What do you mean we found out we were going to be going?
Well, no, I mean, when
No,
you know,
you
in the
started going. You started
no.
going, but then you came over and talked my mom and dad into letting me go.
all right. Well,
My memory of it is
okay,
us sitting there at the
I have no
table.
memory, so that could be. But when we ended up there together, we decided we had to have a dance. We had to have a Bay High hop, because we'd all right at that point we were really heavily listening to the Cruisin' albums. which are radio, they're air checks from popular DJs from each year, starting in 56, I think, and going up.
Right.
And so we have to have a hop. We have to have one, the Bay High hop. And well, then we better start a band to be in it, to play at it. And that was the Rubinoos.
Wow.
And we were doing all oldies.
Drummer Don Spint entered the picture, what, about a year later?
So,
1971 or so?
Yeah. He
well, actually 71, but probably like 3 months later.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because it was what, October?
Yeah, we started rehearsing, I guess, in like September or something, 70.
Yeah.
That's when we started.
Okay.
And the
You
old
guys all have long hair? You guys all have long hair at this point?
Oh yeah, hippies.
hippies.
And-
No shoes wearing to school.
Don actually played drums in the band that opened up the Bay High Hop.
Oh, wow.
Which
Remember he-
was
Uh,
not Gluteus Maximus. That was his other
no,
band.
it wasn't Gluteus Maximus. It was
Don still has Gluteus Maximus. What do you call it? Like burned into the kick drum.
no, he stenciled it,
On set.
spray painted it on his drum.
What do you call it? Yeah.
No, Steve Schwartz was the guitar player singer. Seven
Right.
Cappuccinos was his big hit.
Right. 7 Cappuccinos. What was the name of the band? God,
I can't remember.
we're bad on our trivia.
Yeah. And then I think also the Conturney Suckers also played at that.
Yeah. Yes. And they
Could be a
did
fantastic compilation with all these band names.
Yeah.
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 Because that was Eric Malcolm Crosby doing Foxy Lady as Donald Duck.
Yeah, that was good. Very good.
Yeah.
They did all oldies too, actually. So they're kind of, so we ended up starting the band to play at that dance. And then, like I said, we saw Don there, and we kind of knew Don from the scene a little bit.
Mhm.
And then he joined, and that was sort of the core band from then on.
It still took you a few years to find Royce Ader. Did you go through a series of bassists after that point? And did you choose him just because he had a cool name?
Royce Ader.
You found him in a bank, right?
I went into this bank. Someone had said there was a bass. I don't know why. I think he called us because we put an ad out looking for a bass player. He didn't call us back, or I didn't. I talked to him for a second. He said, "Oh, yeah, I work in a bank," or he might have even told me that First Interstate or whatever bank it was.
Mhm.
Anyway, so I either lost his number, he didn't leave his number, he never called back. But we were sort of desperately looking for someone. So I remember going into the bank and going, "Hey, does anybody know somebody plays bass here?" I'm not kidding.
Wow.
And so there's this like bullet-headed 6'6" teller. Yeah, that guy.
That chemistry between the four of you is undeniable. But did it take a while for the four parts to start working well together?
Well, Tommy and I kind of were singing a lot together before that. So
Mhm.
that was a bit, it already started to really
Yeah.
brain. And it took a while. I mean, we rehearsed our ass off, believe it or not. I mean, we really would play a lot, and we would go rehearse every day if we possibly could.
Out at Royce's house.
Yeah, Royce's mom let us rehearse in their playroom. So,
God, think about, having that happen in your house.
yeah, it was pretty annoying.
How tolerant were they?
Um,
Yeah, every day.
Every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
5 days a
I mean,
week, and
basi-
then we play twice on the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically as much as we possibly could. So, that was really where we kind of got better, I mean, it
Not
was,
better. Turned me into a newt.
Well, while the Rubinoos are now considered one of the greatest power pop bands of all time. And I assume that power pop hadn't even been invented yet, or I mean, wasn't really tossed around back then.
Well, I mean, I think the term maybe hadn't been invented, but certainly, I mean, the Who was doing that stuff in 1964, basically. So,
Yeah.
it's not like the style itself was originated at that point. Also, I really think the Rubinoos get classified as power pop, but I really think we're pretty much more a straight ahead pop band. I mean, we do some stuff that falls into that, louder guitar oriented pop, but basically our influences are straight up pop music.
I mean, there's really a lot more to the core of the band than just quote unquote power pop. I mean, there's a lot of soul in what you guys do. And but are there musical influences that tend to get overlooked by people like me and Ronnie and the press?
Well, I think that's very kind of you to say we're soulful. I mean, I guess in our own Berkeley white bread sort of way, we have some of that soul. But because of growing up in Berkeley, we were exposed to a lot of rhythm and blues and a lot of soul music. And we were particularly fond of stuff like Aretha and Otis Redding and the more funky stuff. And then for the pop side of soul music, the Jackson 5 were a huge influence on us.
Yeah.
Huge. I mean, we listen to those guys all the time, and it's really reflected in the way we arrange our rhythm sections and stuff like that. And I can't say enough, about Curtis Mayfield, Marvin Gaye, Sam Cooke, all these people. And I think,
well, we tried to cover like all those people.
Yeah.
But it was interesting, trying to do like an impressions tune and going, why does this not sound as good as theirs?
So how did all this go down when you started playing gigs? I assume you playing with hard rock bands and stuff. How did they react to you playing Sugar Sugar and stuff?
Not well.
I mean, one of the other things that we were really snotty little kids, and we thought stuff was funny. We would do it on stage. We'd make fun of the audience. We'd do all kinds of stuff that was, anything we thought was amusing. And a lot of times it wasn't so amusing for the audience. but for us, we were just like Tom says, we were cutting our teeth. We were just trying anything. And I think Sugar Sugar in a way was, we started doing it to get a response,
Well, and to piss people off.
Yeah, to get her,
And then we figured out that we really liked it. Because there again, that's another one. It's like you're looking down your nose at it. This is such a stupid song. Then you start trying to play it and you go, you know what? The record really grooves and we're not. You know what I mean? And I mean, that happened with a lot of records that we were trying to cover. Or doing like a Chuck Berry tune and not realizing that like the drummer is playing a shuffle and the guitar is playing straight. You know what I mean? It took a while to figure that out. Instead of everybody going dun 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 dun, But I mean, and I would say that's probably true of every song we tried to cover, where, originally it seemed like, oh, this seems like it'd be really easy. We tried like doing It's All Right by the Impressions and then going, God, why does this not, groove the way, or doing Heat Wave and having everybody going dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
It's so foul. Doing this. So dun, 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 dun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's also like on a song like Sugar Sugar, all you really have to do is just notice the fact that Wilson Pickett covered that song and had a hit with it.
Yeah, he did it really good.
And he did an amazing version. If you'd only heard Wilson Pickett do that song, you'd go, oh, well, that's just a gritty Memphis soul song. It's been a fun one, I mean, we still play it. I still enjoy playing it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Now you go back, and you got
I think though, all that period though is us learning to play in front of an audience. And like I said, we did a lot of stuff that was very irritating to them sometimes, but that also, people who liked it, get us a reputation. I mean, what happened to us at Winterland, we opened for the Starship, 6,000 people booing us as loud as they can and throwing bananas at us for doing Sugar Sugar and having Jonathan Richman dance the Archie to it. And I guess
Wow.
How could that annoy anyone?
I'd pay good money to see
it was
that.
the first year of the Jumbotron, and so there's Jonathan Richman up there doing the Archie, and the crowd going absolutely berserk. The fact
How do you get on that bill, John? How do you, Tommy? How'd you get on that? How'd you open for Starship in '74?
No, actually, my brother's band was on the bill. I mean, I think the Berserkly guys got us on there.
Okay.
Weaseled us on.
It was a series called Sounds of the City, and they would have a big act and then several local
Lesser
acts.
acts.
Yeah, local acts.
For the audience who don't know, Tommy's brother was a member of the band Earthquake, who were also
Yes.
signed to Berkeley Records.
And
So-
a huge influence on us. I mean, huge.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Do you think somehow this debacle, playing before Jefferson Starship, do you think somehow that started the domino effect that became We Built the City?
Well, all I can say about that is Grace Slick, and I will love her for the rest of my life for this. I mean, I get backstage and kind of shell shocked, after that reaction. I mean, we weren't expecting that level
Pepsi
of
generation.
hostility.
After Pepsi
Sorry?
generation, it really
Yeah, we played the Pepsi generation. That was
Yeah.
that was the last straw. And Grace comes up to me backstage, and I'm walking back, and like I said, sort of shell shocked. She puts her arms around me, gives me a hug, and goes, "Don't worry, you guys will be great. Don't worry, there's no problem at all. Don't fuck those people."
That's awesome.
And I was like, wow, Grace Slick, like, she was so nice. I mean, she was kind of like, it's like my mom or something coming up.
Yeah.
Your mom was at that gig.
Yeah, my mom was at that gig.
Throwing bananas.
My mom, I felt bad. My girlfriend was with my mom, and some guy was booing and screaming at us, and my girlfriend comes up, kicked him in the shin, and goes, "Shut up, that's his mom."
Yeah, it's not don't boo them because it's rude. Don't boo them because that's his mom.
Yeah, exactly. No, you were correct to boo them.
So let's talk about the CBS tapes, this release that's coming out. Were these recordings that you guys had in your possession and were just sitting on for years, or has this tape recently been discovered?
We knew that it was there, but I mean, really, once again, this is like a Chuck Prophet kind of thing where Chuck heard the tape and said, "You guys ought to put this out," and he talked to Yep Rock. So it was kind of a conspiracy, really, between Chuck and Yep Rock. I mean, we knew it was there, but we were sort of like, well, just, I don't know. Why would anybody care? Actually, John, your reaction, I thought was the best. You said, I wouldn't listen to this.
Yeah, we
Maybe
should
shouldn't be
clarify.
saying that. I don't know. Is that good advertising? I wouldn't listen to this. Not that I'd listen to.
I mean,
That should be the quote for the
I
ad.
saw it written
Yeah.
down, as long as it said, well, I mean, it's like unlistenable trash rock quartet, Robert Christgau.
Exactly. Unlistenable.
Yeah.
We should clarify too, the title, the CBS tapes, it's slightly misleading to some because it's not a demo for CBS Records, which is
No.
what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And then I heard it. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it
it
was
was-
recorded at CBS Studios. Yeah. And
Right,
all in
okay.
one day. You know, it's just set up and play. There's no overdubs. There's no nothing.
It was like sort of recording a rehearsal, except for we were playing songs we didn't play.
Yeah.
Very much.
Right, professionally recorded rehearsal. Yeah, that's what it
Exactly.
is.
Yeah.
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 Well, were these the only songs that you taped that time, or these are the only ones that are coming out?
No, they were the only ones we did. I mean, there were no second tries, which that's a caveat for, you know.
The other thing is, you know, tape was expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's rolling, you know, what, 30 minutes of tape, 40
Yeah.
minutes of tape.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, seriously, that was like, you know, a few $100s. And back then, you know, hey, that was, you know, that was a half a day's budget.
Now we were just actually, I mean, what we were doing was setting up to get sounds, because the next day we would be recording in earnest for the first album.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
Interesting.
actually the CBS tapes were recorded November 3rd, 1976, which is the day after Jimmy Carter was elected.
So at this point, you weren't putting this together to, you know, put a demo for a record deal. You had the record deal. You were just getting ready to record.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We had recorded some things that went on the first album a little before, and then I think we took, you know, a break of a week or whatever,
Mhm.
and then it was just setting back up to record the next day, to get back to recording. But it was, oh well, we need to set up the mics again. We need to, you know, mic the drums.
Mhm.
Go ahead and play whatever you want, and we'll record it and see how it is.
I mean, these recordings are, you know, more raw than pretty much anything that you've recorded. But at this point, punk was a big thing. But had that entered your bloodstream, or was it just youthful energy?
Punk was definitely around, and we were very aware of it because we were
Mhm.
playing with a lot of punk-ish bands. You know, I don't think we were trying to be punk ourselves, but
Mhm.
I mean, I think when you look at sort of where we were coming from, before the term punk rock was used, you know, we had started the band Psychotic Pineapple, which in my opinion is fully a punk band. So yeah, we were aware of it. We were into it. I mean, you know, I bought the Sex Pistols record on the first day it arrived, and on import, you know, I mean, you know, it was all that stuff, but
which is really a pop record now when you listen to it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I mean,
ab-
it is.
Absolutely.
You know?
very
Absolutely.
melodic.
we've always had that aspect to us. We're always kind of bratty and obnoxious, and really enjoyed thrashing stuff.
You know, I saw her today. She was walking up the street. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. She was walking down the street. Well, now she smiled at me, and my heart was at her feet. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. My heart was at and I said, oh, I want her so bad. Come on and sing here, Gary. Oh, so bad.
Well, yeah, I'd like to point out that the CBS tapes is going to be the first Rubinoos album with a parental advisory sticker.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, a
Yeah,
lot,
you
lot
guys-
of cursing on
Foul
this.
mouth. Oh, it's foul mouth.
Yeah. How old were you when you recorded this? When basically started recording the first album?
19, 18.
Yeah, we were all, you and I were 19.
Actually, John,
Wow.
Yeah,
you would have been 18 and I would have been 19, because it was November and you would have been about to turn.
right. Yeah.
You're about to turn.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds more like a zombie movie.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
you know, we were in the cusp of the 20s, and you know, Don was a year older, I think, and Don might have been 20.
Still is.
But yeah, I mean, we were pretty young, and also playing in bands back then wasn't nearly as sophisticated in a way as it is now. I mean,
Mhm.
you know, I mean, when they said we were a garage band, that's literal. That's not figurative.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
started out practicing in Ralph's garage. I mean, you know, that was
Yeah.
it. We had a Super Beetle that was the bass amp, the PA, and the guitar amp.
Oh, and
Everything.
organ.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
although Greg got a bass amp and then Alex put his organ into the,
Right.
yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it was like we were just thrashing away as, you know, as
We recommend it. It's really a tidy way to go.
Well, it's amazing you developed the harmonies with a not a real PA. I mean, that's
When you
that's
can only
mind
sing
mind-blowing.
one at a time because you only have one mic. That's
Yeah, wow.
now you do your part.
You,
and
you actually have
imagine-
no idea. Like,
Yeah.
I remember like
Mm.
buying that microphone, Shure SM57, like how incredibly pro that seemed. Like, wow,
Yeah.
man, this is pro. Look, it doesn't have an on-off switch. It's good.
right.
Were all these songs part of your set at one point or another?
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, we knew how to play them, sort
Yeah,
of.
I mean, I don't think I want her so bad. I don't remember getting played.
No,
much.
that one never, probably. Yeah.
But you know, the other ones at some point or another. I mean, the DeFranco family song we did a few times.
We did that at Winterland, and that
Right.
that only got a little bit of booing because not that many people knew what it was.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Rubinoos song to me. It really does.
Yeah,
It's got
yeah.
fancy chord changes and, you know, yeah, it's wonderful.
Very fancy.
Well, you know, the Beatles stuff, you know, we did regularly. Walk Don't Run, Sugar Sugar. The Meters never.
No, we used to play that like way early on. I think a couple times, but
I'm actually, when you listen to Don playing in that, I'm like, wow, that's kind of impressive. He kind of sounds funky there.
This is even before the first album. You already sounded great. You already had that Rubinoos sound, although this was edgier and more raw. You know, I think that's going to surprise people, that rawness. But I'm sure that that was the sound you guys had live compared to maybe the first studio album.
I think it's a little more refined sounding, absolutely, than we were live. We were a little bit edgier. The first album is not very aggressive. I think we were a little more aggressive than that live.
well, also, yeah, when the vocals aren't doubled or, you know, little keyboards added or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you
I mean,
know,
I
like
think-
these guys, like these guys.
Yes, yes.
Except
Overdone.
none of us could scream like Kim Shattuck, I'll tell you that.
No kidding, man. I'll tell you, yeah, because Weird Boy Next Door was the one I was just playing trumpet with the other day.
Oh, I'd love to
Really
hear you
good.
trumpet on that.
It is a good record to play trumpet to.
I mean,
That's our
it's,
trio.
you know, it's funny when I'm listening to the radio and I hear that, you know, suddenly I hear some screaming coming out of the speakers and I go, Kim Shattuck, Kim Shattuck. It's just like,
It's a signature.
it's
Yeah.
so-
She never lost her voice on the road. Believe it or
I
not.
don't understand that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
seriously, she's like Little Richard. It's like, how can you do that?
I mean, that would
Yeah.
be me. One time I'd do that and my voice would be gone. Over.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, seriously, Ronnie, how did she, I mean, did she ever lose her voice doing that? Or was
No,
it,
no. I mean, there were nights where obviously she
You
was
had
not
to take
talking
over.
so much. She'd
right?
drink
Sometimes you had to, yeah. you
yeah,
had to
exactly.
take
I
over.
had to scream. Yeah, I had to.
Let me
scream
hear one.
aggressive.
Let me hear one.
Back it up. Back it up.
No one wants that. No one wants to hear that.
No.
You know, there were those nights where she'd be drinking the throat coat or whatever before a show, but you know, the secret is it's actually not that loud.
Okay.
She knew how to do it on the mic where it sounded. You guys are professionals. You understand this. Steve might
Well,
not,
yeah.
but
I mean,
No, I
she's
don't-
just her scream was, yeah, it's up there with Little Richard, definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, man, I remember playing with you guys in San Francisco, watching
Yeah.
this and just going, fuck, listen to that, man. And she would just, you know, you'd think it was, okay, that one must have blown her out. Just kept doing it.
yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
That was a great night. Very memorable. And yeah, we had to play after you guys. That was
Oh, God,
that was
we were-
ridiculous.
We were
That
cheering
was
you on.
ridiculous.
Really fun.
No, it was great. And yeah, I'm sorry we never got to play again, really.
You know, I'm sorry to go back to the CBS tapes, but even though that's what you're promoting.
Well,
Of the-
actually, let me just do this
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, man, half of your head just fell off. What is happening?
It's true.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Of the three previously unreleased originals, I know I'm going to get this wrong. Nushna Kavolta
Yeah.
is one of the catchiest songs in the Rubinoos arsenal. Was that or even All Excited or I Want Her So Bad considered for that first album? No.
I don't think so.
No, All Excited was really early on song. I mean, we'd probably quit playing that like 2 years before or something.
Mhm.
And then Nuzhna Kavolta, our friend Alex Carlin, who plays in Psychotic Pineapple,
Yeah.
he spoke Russian in those days. So we decided, well, we got to write a song in Russian. And we I think the chorus was already there. And I mean, I wouldn't say he was fluent, but he was good enough. He was able to translate the chorus. And then if you threw really simple lines at him, like, well, because it's, I need somebody to love is the chorus. And Alex was, you know, he was able to do that.
Wow.
So now how long has he lived in Russia now? Well, Poland and then Russia.
A long time.
But he lives in Moscow now.
Wow.
I think he had to move actually because of that translation. There was something. Who is it? It's Jenny who is convinced that he's working for
CIA.
CIA
Yeah.
or the KGB. We're not
Yeah.
sure. Maybe double agent.
Now, apart from Sugar Sugar, did you return to any of these songs after this recording?
I don't think so.
Not really. Well, I Want to Hold Your Hand. Maybe we pull out once in a while just for fun, but
Yeah.
it wasn't really like part of a set.
I mean, we played I Want to Hold Your Hand on the Elvis tour a lot,
That's right.
but you know, it was
And we have that one chord wrong in the song.
that's so impressive. I'm
Yeah,
really,
it's like we're playing a B minor, and no, on the record it's clearly a B major, and we just keep hammering it. No, what's wrong with us?
well, it's so good. I just love the fact we're getting the chords wrong on that song.
I know.
Really good.
Now, 3/4 the lineup that made the CBS tapes still together today, 45 years after this was recorded, and of course, along with bassist Al Chan, you were still making
Yes.
great pop music. With all this music industry nonsense throughout the years, life getting in the way, what keeps you motivated and inspired? Because many fine bands have come and gone since you guys started.
It's just fun. It's so much fun to do, you know?
Mm.
I would say Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
You know, that is the
Yeah.
worst soft drink ever. I'm
It is
telling
the
you.
worst soft drink ever.
No, you know, I was just thinking, oh, it has a lot of caffeine in it. Maybe
Yeah.
but it's horrible. No, Tom, and I think Tom hit it on the head. It's just a lot of fun, and it's our, you know, you get together with your friends and rock out.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I think,
Like rehearsing is as fun as playing.
yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
absolutely true.
And then
I
you
mean,
get to go on vacation to Spain or whatever, you know.
Right.
Who
Yeah.
can complain?
We should also mention that Al, being the new guy, has been in the band for, you know,
Since
40 years.
1980.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is the greatest thing that ever happened to the Rubinoos. I mean,
He's
Al's such
amazing.
a wonderful guy, besides the fact that, you know, amazing voice, great bass player.
He is a gem. I mean, that's the thing that I can say about, you know, I hate to rub this in your faces, guys, but that's what I can say about all four Rubinoos members.
Oh, I don't know.
is-
Have you met Don?
once.
Oh, I don't know.
But-
Don,
but-
greatest guy ever.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is
Thank you.
you can see that in every performance too, and you can hear that on the records. I think that chemistry and that love and passion that you guys have together for creating music, it's just, that's what hits me every time I listen to a Rubinoos record. It's not so much, oh, that's a great tune. It's, man, this feels good.
Well, thank you.
yeah, I mean, it's, you know, and we haven't had a fist fight in the band for like 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. Since COVID started.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, I do think a
Trying to
lot.
keep Don and Al apart. Jesus.
I do think that the fact that we're really good friends, best friends, for so many years, just makes a huge difference. I mean, when I hear about these bands that have these enormous schisms and people hate each other and
Mhm.
we only, we don't talk to each other. We arrive in different tour buses, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah, we
like,
aspire to be the Eagles.
are you kidding me? Why would you do that? I mean, I
Yeah.
guess for money, I guess, but for us, it's, I just look forward to it always.
Yeah.
Always
So-
get to, like I said, I get to go hang out with my friends. What a great deal.
So it's not true that Al, Don, and Tommy ride in a van and John gets to ride in a Maserati.
Private plane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Private.
He is the Reuben in the Rubinoos. So
But-
Go ahead, John.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no,
No.
no, I'm an idiot. Go ahead and say what you're gonna say.
Well, hey, you don't have a fucking monopoly on that.
We gonna rock, rock, rock non-stop tonight. At the government center, when they stamps on the letter, and then they write it down in the ledger. Yeah, tonight, go there tonight. Don and Roy.
Somebody hit me up on Facebook. I said, we're going to talk to John and Tommy. The first thing they said is, oh, ask them about the EP with Todd Rundgren.
We can talk about that.
Okay,
What
go ahead.
about it?
Yeah. No.
I mean, I think it was an unfortunate mismatch. Todd, I don't think was really into what we were doing, and we were sort of making our deal to use Todd based on economics instead of our gut level feeling.
Mhm.
And I think, because we thought his name on it would make it a better selling record. I mean,
Yeah.
really, that was a lot of the reason. And, well, he seemed like, okay, he's made a lot of incredibly great records. He should
Yeah.
make us a great record. But it just really wasn't, it just didn't gel, It just-
Well, the other thing was that John and I had moved to LA and it was just the two of us. So we weren't really a band. I mean,
Right.
that's a huge difference,
Yeah.
And that Todd's band, the other guys in Utopia were filling in the band.
Yeah.
Well, that is not the same as a bunch of guys who have played together forever,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
great as those guys are, they're great players, but and I don't blame it all on Todd at all. I mean, I think we were in sort of a weird.
It was just, we didn't have a clear vision of what we were doing.
Right. Well, let's put it this way. On all the early albums, we would rehearse 5 days a week. We would play twice on the weekends. When we went in the studio, we had played those songs hundreds of times in front of
Yeah.
audience. When we did the thing with Todd, we'd never played any of those songs as a band. Just that in itself is a huge difference.
Yeah.
And that's what was different. For instance, when we did From Home with Chuck,
Mhm.
is we did a lot of rehearsing before it.
Yeah.
What did we do? Like 35 rehearsals or
Well, no,
something?
50% of the budget of that album was rehearsing. I mean, I'm not, that's just straight up.
Yeah. Which now we feel like that is the way to go. And,
be prepared so you don't have to
yeah,
kick around in the studio. Yeah,
pre-production
yeah.
or whatever you
Yeah,
want to
I mean,
call
it's also just, I mean, it's kind of a hippie thing, but you find the song,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it's like our cover of Shake Some
Is
Action.
that really now? Is that what the hippies do?
I think the hippies do that.
Is that?
But our cover of Shake Some Action, when we recorded that, we'd never played it before.
Right. And it kind of
And-
sounds like it. Yeah.
And it's, I mean, it's an okay version on that record, but live, I think we kill it.
Mhm.
Right.
I
It
mean-
got so much better after playing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
and yes, and I mean, I'm sorry, yeah, what I meant to say is after playing it 100 times, I think we kill it now, and we
Yeah.
got it, how
Yeah.
how it goes, and how we should
Well,
approach
we
it.
should learn from the band that did the CBS tapes. That's how you record. You just set up, you don't get to play it twice. You get to play it again. You better get it right the first.
Going back to the CBS tapes, first time I listened to it, there's this cursing and all this kind of stuff. And I'm going, what the second time I listened to it, it's like I couldn't get enough of that because the energy comes out of the word fuck. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not melodic, but it's energetic. You know,
No, I love it. John, where were you? Motherfuck, piss, shit, crap, girl, when I'm alone. That's such a nice segue.
Yeah.
I remember the 14, 15-year-old me with my headphones on, listening to Nothing a Little Love Won't Cure, and that lifting me to out of any negativity, out of any sadness, out of any amount of darkness, and just filling me with so much joy and passion. I never would have thought that those guys said the F word. You know what I mean?
Well, you should have come to the live show.
An aside about Nothing Will Love Won't Cure. That is a one take vocal with no punch,
Wow.
no fixes. That was sung beginning to end. That's it.
You realize you're right up there with Karen Carpenter in the song Superstar. That lead vocal was one take.
Is that right?
Yeah.
She's better than I am.
She
A
is.
lot better.
No, she
A lot better.
She is. Oh my God.
How can viewers stay updated on all things Rubinoos?
Wow.
I mean, is it
How
Facebook,
do we stay-
internet?
Well, we're trying. Tommy's really making a big effort to post stuff on Facebook and
They're
Instagram.
making me post stuff. So I guess that's how.
Where can
But-
people buy the hat, John? Is basically
Yeah,
what he's
people
asking.
Buy the hat.
Yeah.
I don't think you can buy the hat anymore, Tom. Are we
Oh,
out?
okay.
I don't know.
You might be able to get it on. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's pump it. Pop Plus One is where you can buy Rubinoos albums and merchandise. And you can also buy other great bands like Kevin Gilbert and the Mighty Echoes
Psychotic
and
Pineapple.
Psychotic Pineapple. And so, that's a place where you can get stuff. But if you want to kind of keep up with what we're doing, best place probably is Facebook. I'm
Don't we have a
guessing.
mailing list or something, or we should?
Okay, if you want to send us an email.
I think mailing lists are
We'll
like,
figure it out.
I
Yeah.
think mailing lists are so 1990s.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 30 years ago thing.
They're
Does
coming
that-
around again.
It's an email list, electronic mail.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Who should
Um,
we send it? Who should they send it to, Tom? To
I
get
don't
on the-
know through the. I have no idea. What do you mean?
How about send it to info@popplusone.com? Does that go
I
there?
don't think that's a real address.
Okay.
Well, just go to
What's the-
popplusone.com and then click the
Okay, we'll get back to you on that one.
Man, we are totally got this together on the promotion.
This is the best
side.
plug thing ever. Above that, the CBS tapes available on Yup Rock in late June.
Yes, Yep Rock Records.
Yes.
And we look forward to more re-releases coming up on Yep Rock in the next while.
Ooh.
can we have a scoop?
We can have a scoop that the first two albums are going to be re-released on vinyl at some point in the near future.
We're
Awesome.
overdubbing a bunch of foul mouthed kind of stuff on them.
Anyway, that's it for us here at Beach Blanket Fort Bingo. Ronnie and I would like to thank our special guests, John Reuben and Tommy Dunbar of the Rubinoos, for joining us. Remember to buy the CBS tapes available in June 2021, and also check out all the other great Rubinoos merchandise at popplusone.com. And we would like to thank you for tuning in to Beach Blanket Fort Bingo, and we will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Yep, Rock. Yep, Rock.
forgot to show you guys something. Don't worry, it's clean. Are we still recording, Steve?
Yes.
I don't know if there's any Rubinoos like promo items or things like that, but I have one Rubinoos item I'd like to show you. It's a size small,
Oh, yeah.
but
Oh,
I'm pretty
That's
sure this is a
big of 'em.
vintage one, right? Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that would be vintage. Yeah,
There
79.
only is vintage of that.
Nice. Okay. Well, it's a size small. I can model it for you if you wish.
Please.
But
You know, I was actually asked to go audition for Toto.
Really?
oh,
Yes.
And
what?
and
I said no,
didn't you go and at least film it? I mean,
because at that point, I just didn't think it was that funny.
as a singer, John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just-
Wow.
singer,
Wow.
What was this? Was this?
not as a clarinet player.
yeah,
Was
no.
this like before the band put out a record, or was this like midway through their career?
No, it was
or-
like 1986 or something.
Wow.
Imagine you could have got on stage, Africa, yeah,
Africa.
and people going, "That's not the real guy," you know.
Especially when you say motherfucker in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Hold the line, motherfucker.
You know, well, it's like
I'm
Tom.
so disappointed in you.
Well, Tom, you didn't
Go do that.
You didn't go to the audition for Kenny Loggins either.
Oh, tell us.
That's true, but I did the audition for the motels.
Did you?
I did. I auditioned for the motels, and they asked me to sing a song, and I did. Oh, happy day. Whoa, oh, anyone. And then I got a call like a week later, and they said, "Your hair's not right."